Hello, Pubcast folks. Welcome to the Pubcast. I am alone tonight, sadly, as my partner in crime here, Joe, is not feeling well. He's under the weather. So we are just left with me today. I apologize. I know, it's sad. Well, you and I can have fun. We can have a good time together, right? So yes, welcome to the Pubcast. I'm solo by myself tonight. I'm going to we'll try to carry on. I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit in the last week. It's been a crazy week. We've been doing a lot of shoots, and we shot a video for a playhouse. I use a C200 and a Canon XC15 doing talking head interviews. I find myself doing a lot of talking head interviews lately, and well, I put my camera, my C200, on my cart, and as I was wheeling the cart up the ramp into the truck, I heard a crack, and this is what happened to my C200. Yeah, look at that. Oh man. Yeah, so that was a real bummer there. Hey, hi folks. Alan Weinstock and 69th Drone Detachment. Welcome to the show. So I'm just going to talk a little about what happened in the past week. So there's my C200 with the top broken. But luckily, we'll go back to me. I took it to Canon the following day. It was a Monday. I took it to Canon, shipped back to me on Friday. So you're actually watching me through the C200 on the C200. The Canon folks, apparently when I took it in, they said, "Holy crap, you really did a number on this." They took it back to the technician. Technician said, "You know what? You did a pretty good job breaking this thing. All you did was broke off the top plate, and they just need to replace the top plate." He was looking at it first. He was sure he was going to have to replace the entire side panel and do all kinds of stuff. Just the top plate. So it was a cosmetic repair, just a flesh wound, as they say. So then unfortunately, insurance was not. I don't want to call it insurance. It ended up being, I'll just say it ended up being $300 to repair it. Parts were $20 for the parts, and $250 for the labor. Because you know what, I'm very much a DIY guy. I DIY a lot of stuff around here, but that's one thing I'm not going to DIY. Is a camera, and it is out of warranty because it's about 2 years old. It's coming up on 3 years. I'll have it paid off by the end of the year, which is cool. Another thing that's interesting that I will not do around here is I do a little electrical work, but I will not install an outlet, which the fire marshal said I should. Fire marshal doesn't want me using so many extension cords, so I decided to put an extra extension on the outlet, and we got myself. I brought an electrician in, came in here, and gave me an extra outlet. So those are things I won't touch, is the actual proper installation of an outlet and a camera repair like that. I mean, I'll fix anything else. I'll fix a lot of stuff. Is the audio a bit choppy? Probably just hot. How is that there? Again, we don't have any monitors. I am literally by myself tonight in the situation room here. So I will try to keep the I think it was just hitting the levels there. So I'm just bring it down. So I am by myself. You are entertained with me. Again, my friend Joe is out sick today. So you have just me to talk to. But fear not, we shall have a good time. I think we have a good time. We've got my LaCroix More Pepino, which is a blackberry cucumber flavor, I think. Sure, whatever. Very good. Let's get into it. All right, so the first movie we're going to talk about is a movie I saw a couple of days ago. It's called Gretel and Hansel. Let's watch a little bit of the trailer.
Tell me the fairy tale again.
It's too scary, and you'll start seeing things that aren't there.
You've been turned out of your home. Set out to fend for yourselves with only your clothes and your hides.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungrier than you are.
Because you're a pig.
Look! It smells of cake! Brothers!
careful with that, dear. I'd hate for you to start something you can't stop.
Gretel and Hansel. All right, so let's go back here. Come on, John. Cut to me. Where's it going? Let's see. There we go. There, I figured it out. I figured out my own board. Yeah, Orion still makes pictures. When I first saw the movie and that Orion logo came up, like, wait a second, did I walk into like a classic movie? Because this is like exactly the same logo, and it kind of looks like the VHS version of it because they kind of like didn't really up it. It looks really lo-fi, and I was kind of wondering, really. The movie is so I went into this thing kind of expecting, because I heard some reviews saying it was really good, and I was kind of expecting something along the lines of The Witch, by Robert Eggers from a few years ago, kind of that atmospheric, like turn of the century style, really heavy. And you can see from the trailer, a lot of the visual aspects are there. There's a lot of like visually, it's very creative. It uses, I think, a 1.66 aspect ratio, something narrower than, not quite 4:3, but it's narrower than 16:9 even. But the movie, despite the fact that it is visually stunning, it's beautifully shot, it doesn't have the weight that The Witch had. The Witch had this kind of like dread and this heaviness, and then when it got to the end, the climax of the film felt like a climax. It felt, would you like to live deliciously? And it was like, oh man, I saw something weird and horrifying. Gretel and Hansel kind of shows you a lot of great stuff, and then you have a climax, and you're like, well, that doesn't feel like a climax. It feels like there needs to be something more. So I think to me, that's what was missing in the film. Otherwise, it was a very visually arresting film. Another thing that was interesting, or at least worth talking about, is the way accents are handled, because the girl that played Gretel, who's I can't remember her name, but she was in the It movies as the redhead. They call her the young Amy Adams. She had a modern accent, but then she would kind of dip back into like an old classic turn of the century accent, and it wasn't just it felt a little out of place. It just felt too modernized. I realized that the director, by the way, is Osgood Perkins, who is Anthony Perkins' son. Anthony Perkins from Psycho, his son. I think what he was trying to do was trying to stay away from comparisons to The Witch, be his own thing. I heard a lot of people say that when they were asking him stylistic choices, do you want it to be like The Witch? And he said, no, I want my own thing. But it just didn't have that feel that the stick to the meat sticks to the ribs kind of thing. Doesn't quite have it. I don't want to tear down any filmmakers, because I think it was a wonderfully made project. It just felt like something more was needed, and obviously it's reflected in a lot of the critic scores are rather mediocre. The audience scores are even worse, because these horror films, they if they're not advertised, if they're advertised as a horror film, people go in with a certain expectations. It's really more of an artsy horror kind of. It's an artsy film with jump scares. Anyhow, so if you're interested in watching it, I'd say check it out if you see it on cable, but it's not like a jump out of your seat and go see it right now. So that is Hansel and Gretel. I'm just checking out, seeing what the comments are. Ilian, I do watch MCU movies. I don't think they're theme park rides. I think they're actual cinema. We will talking. Is it still cracking? I could just bring it down a little more. We will talk about MCU movies. I think next Pubcast we're going to do Birds of Prey and Sonic the Hedgehog. I think is the plan so far. We'll see that. And I heard we'll get in the news section in a little bit here. But let's go on to the second movie. And the second movie actually came out in December. It's a Netflix only release, and the movie is Six Underground.
They have fighter jets. You see that? Yes. You see that? Sorry for yelling.
Welcome to the world's biggest magnet. out of your mind?
Grenade! I wasn't sure it would work. I mean, I wasn't sure. I had a suspicion, but this is all so fucking dangerous.
That's right. We're reviewing a Michael Bay movie. All right, Michael Bay has been getting a lot of crap. Now, and I will admit I am not a Michael Bay fan, but he's been getting a lot of crap for the last 10 years, I think probably because of his association with a certain franchise. I believe it's called Harry Potter. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Transformers, obviously. Transformers is, let's face it, it's stupid. It's based on a freaking toy franchise. Like, what do you want? It's not, it's not cerebral cinema. But Six Underground kind of reminds or at least it reveals the fact that Michael Bay is in every sense an auteur filmmaker. This guy, this is his return to Michael Bay at his most coked out, insano, kind of ridiculous action that he does. And I think the funny thing is there's a hypocrisy in the filmmaking community about Michael Bay, because let's face it, Michael Bay his roots come from commercials. The famous commercial was the Clio Award-winning Gotten Milk commercial. Who was the guy that shot Alexander Hamilton in the famous duel? And this is before what's his face made a Broadway musical out of it. So he taught a generation of my age people that Aaron Burr shot Hamilton. But this guy comes from commercials, so he knows, like, his aesthetic is like super slick, super smooth motion, incredibly well-crafted lighting, incredibly well-crafted design. Maybe he's more about substance or substance abuse almost than he is like story, right? He's flashy, he's more flashy. This movie is nothing but flash. The story, who cares? It's about a group of people that they fake their own death and then they fly around the world like taking out the bad guys. And Ryan Reynolds is some multi-billionaire who has all these resources to do this, so he can go out and take care of the human scum, take out the trash. But who cares? It's all about how can Michael Bay take his toys and smash them together and blow them up and have people flying out of cars. You saw there's a sequence, and I guess I'm not giving anything away because it's in the trailer. There's a sequence in there where Ryan Reynolds turns his boat into a magnet and people start flying at the walls, like in that trailer. When I saw that, I've seen this done. And folks, it is definitely an R-rated movie. It is hard R. It is, which is kind of also refreshing because so many times you see these action films and like, man, I hate to dig on MCU movies, but like I remember thinking this back in Spider-Man days when Spider-Man keeps getting punched, or Superman throws Zod through the building after building and no one gets hurt. There's no blood. Well, Michael Bay lets you know there's blood and mayhem and people get their heads blown off, and it's return to Bayhem. Again, the movie, it is a lot. Now, did I fully enjoy it? Nah, part of me enjoyed a lot of it. And the other part of me kind of like, well, it's okay. But the part of me that enjoyed it, the little 13-year-old kid in me that said, yeah, blow it up good. That part of me loved the film. The part of me that wanted to get attached to the characters. Ryan Reynolds is kind of a good match for Michael Bay, because Ryan Reynolds at least can bring the humor level up a few years of maturity, rather than Michael Bay's humor. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that's kind of holding Michael Bay back, is the sense of humor is so juvenile. But his action, let's face it, the guy knows how to shoot action probably better than almost anybody out there. The only people better, maybe George Miller and Fury Road, in my opinion. I think Fury Road is the perfect movie, and it is also an action. It is also a thrill ride, but it is like the most pure cinematic thrill ride movie I've ever seen. But this movie, it's the most actionist-y movie. It's the most Michael Bay movie you're gonna find since like Armageddon. It's kind of throwback to Armageddon. Anyhow, that's my take on it. What time is it? It's about 6:16. So I blew through 15 minutes to go through our our little movie review. I don't have a Joe to throw off of. Have you guys seen the movie? Have you guys checked out this movie? I'm going to turn out to the audience now, and we can discuss with you guys. Have you guys seen these movies at all? Let's see. Backing up here. Loose connection. That would explain it right there. Well, do I need to go through that entire thing again? Well, let's see. If you guys could hear me, I mean, we'll kind of hit the the top points again. Yeah, the 13-year-old me loved the film. The older me wasn't crazy about it, but I understand it, and I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed how it felt. So that's the take on it. So since I'm by myself, and we have a tradition here on the Pubcast of always having an audio issue, and being that I'm here by myself, of course it would be that I have an audio issue today. Of course it would happen. Anyhow, so that's my take on those two movies, Hansel and Gretel and 6 Underground. If to pick between two, go check out 6 Underground if you want to see something that's crazy and insane. But if and Hansel and Gretel and Hansel, it's more of like catch it on cable or something. You might catch your interest, but it's not a heavy meal like The Witch or something like that. I figured we don't want to go through the whole thing again. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'll turn it over to chat now. We can hang out and just shoot the breeze here. I am working on several different videos right now. I've got at least 3 videos from my business that I'm working on. I've got a little wall over there that I can try and keep track. I've got some IQ Bits videos. I've got a Fox studio that I need to wrap up. I want to do the Fox video first because and cover the history of William Fox, who, as you probably figured out, started off 20th Century Fox. His story goes between like 1896 and 1930 or so. But a really fascinating story about how the man basically invented the way we watch movies. He is really central, and now Disney has basically erased his name off of the studio. So he's no longer Fox. And I think the reason they did that was to kind of separate themselves from Fox Broadcasting, which Disney does not own, I think, as I understand it. Fox Broadcasting has its own separate company, and also Fox News, which they don't want, people being pissed off at Fox News not going to see the movies because they have nothing to do with each other. So poor Fox. Should do a story. I do have it written out. I need to kind of clean it up. I've been working on a question came up on Twitter about why anamorphic lenses produce oval-shaped bokeh, and I've been kind of trying to demonstrate how to do that and show you both mathematically and also through a physical experiment that indeed the reason why it's oval shaped rather than the common question would be, well, if it's oval shaped, then when you re-stretch it out, shouldn't it go back to circular? Well, there's a reason why, and we'll go through math of it later on. So yeah, anyhow, let's see what you guys are saying as I give you guys a little time to talk here. What do you think about the new Star Wars movie? Wow. Well, since my friend Joe isn't here to talk about how much he hates Last Jedi, I can talk about Star Wars. All right, good. He's probably in the chat lurking and just like waiting to see it. As you can see, I did the pork up here. Star Wars, I felt really let down by the last film. I really enjoyed. See, here's the thing. There's the funny thing. The Last Jedi did really well with critics. Did very poorly with some fans. I'm going to just put that out there. Some fans, like the guy that usually sits here. So I tend to side kind of more with critics on a lot of things. Critics more mixed on the was it End of Skywalker? I don't even remember the name of the movie. Skywalker saga ending, whatever. The end of Skywalker. And then fans tended to be a little more happy with it. the thing is, Rian Johnson set up so many really cool ideas, I think, with Star Wars. This is coming from a person that didn't love Star Wars until the newest rendition. I was aware of Star Wars. I saw Star Wars. I just didn't love it until J.J. Abrams kind of said, well, here's what we can do, and here's the playground we can play in. And if you go back and watch the original, when I catch it on TV, not the original, the number episode 7, it does feel like anything can happen. It's fresh, it's exciting. And Rian Johnson's like, okay, and then this is gonna, and we're gonna just kill off everybody and then put them in the worst possible situation. And here we go. And I understood what everything he was doing with that movie, and I appreciated some things. Obviously, not everything you're gonna love, but for most part, I appreciate what he did. And then J.J. Abrams comes back in and says, nope, we're going to do the most obvious, stupid thing we can possibly do and bring back the Emperor. And it was like, oh, man, I groaned so much with that. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't realize it was going to be the real Emperor coming back. I thought it was just going to be a hologram or something. But anyhow, what I did like about the movie was I did appreciate the Rey, Kyle connection, the ending. The ending, and come on, if you haven't seen it by now, the ending kiss it's like, I'm sitting there with the filmmaker, I'm like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Oh, they did it. Oh, man, they kissed. It's like, it's the classic, Snow White, because now she's officially a Disney princess. Snow White, kissing Snow White, she doesn't come back to life anyhow. So, yeah, I felt left down by the Skywalker saga ending the way it did. However, I really enjoyed Mandalorian. So and I believe Bob Iger is saying that Star Wars is not going to be in the theaters for a while. It's going to stay on streaming for a bit. And you know what? Good. Let's keep it on streaming for a while and just keep it. I just hope the Mandalorian doesn't fall in the same trap. It's like, okay, you like the Mandalorian because I like the new characters, I like the new sets, I like the new concepts. Don't start shoving in all the old stuff. That's not what I'm here for Star Wars. I want to see new stuff. That's the point. All right, let's see. The next time I have a couple hours to kill, I'm going to load up 6 Underground on Netflix. Yeah, check it out. I want to see Parasite. I think it'll win the Best Foreign, Best Picture, and Director. Thoughts? I don't think it will win Best Picture because I think there's going to be like a little bit of a bent in the Oscars pro-American. I was reading one from the Hollywood Reporter saying, the BAFTAs are for the British movies. The French have their own movie awards. We're going to have Oscars need to be American. So I kind of think Parasite's probably not going to win it for that. My outside bet, this is a long shot, but I have a feeling Ford versus Ferrari wins Best Picture. Why? Because it's the least controversial movie out there. It's the movie that probably most people have seen because I think it's the most audience of wide appeal movie. Again, I think the odds are probably in favor of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it is about Hollywood. But I think Ford versus Ferrari has a very dangerous shot at winning that one. SLC 138038. I found the editing of 6 Underground really annoying. That's Michael Bay. Yeah, he cuts like really fast. I mean, he cuts so fast. The thing about Michael Bay is filmmakers can learn so much from Michael Bay. Because I was watching his cutting style, I'm thinking, we could shoot this. I could shoot this in a car, because the cutting is what makes the scene feel fast. It's just going, there's a few set pieces, but the stuff inside the car, the car could have been like on a process trailer, just moving like at 25 miles an hour. It didn't even matter. It's just all the editing and the camera shake. All that stuff is creating the momentum of the feeling of the movie without actually showing anything dangerous. Of course, then they have those big giant stunt pieces where they blow everything up, and that's what actually is dangerous to do. But anyhow, yeah. So I understand that. I understand that criticism quite well. Velen Shock says, "Baby Yoda for the win." Yes, I need to get a Baby Yoda thing. Although they're probably pretty expensive, and I probably can't afford one. Tosha, I watched The Equalizer 2 for the first time the other day. Not bad. Funny thing about that, I get ads for Stars all the time. I don't know if anybody else has gotten this, but like every time I open up a video on YouTube, I hear, "Oh wow, I've never seen one of these before." It's Denzel Washington, and he's that scene. He's like looking at that black Visa card and the horrible bros are around there because he didn't ask her if she made it out okay. The guy's like, oh, did you make it out okay? I had to take her to General Hospital, get her stomach pumped. She's right there. I'm gonna need you to get all your cell phones and your. That's a horrible Denzel impression on John. I shouldn't be doing that. Anyhow, but yeah, I always get that. So I gotta watch that Equalizer too. Oh boy, let's see. I gotta go back through here and I'm not seeing that over there, so never mind. Michael Bay loves ads. Yeah, I'm sure he does. Mian Wang, how you doing? It's Mian Wang. Taking a sip of my LaCroix Courante. Adrian Tanachek says, what do you think of growing you dramas like Kids, mid-90s, Fresh, and 13? I'm not quite sure what those movies are, honestly. I think I've heard of 13. And Bard Karma, welcome back, Bad Karma. He's back. John, when can you do a video together? I live in Garden Grove. I've got to get you out here one of these days. Yeah, definitely. Just gotta hit me up on if you go on Filmmaker IQ, and this is no surprise, no secret to all of you guys. FilmmakerIQ.com. Go to the contact us, send us a message there. It goes straight to me, so I get them. So we can set up something. Sebastian Rodriguez, I was disappointed by Gemini Man. I had high hopes for once I saw it in the teeth. Got me. The teeth got me. Okay, I didn't think it was about the teeth. Gemini Man, it's weird that Gemini Man is still doing quite well on my video list, that people are still watching it. I don't think anybody's watching it at 120 frames a second, but people are watching the film. Oh, the character's teeth were fake. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I didn't notice it at the time, but I'm sure if it might be my teeth might be off very well. Is the interview with the vampire remake still a thing? I do not know. But speaking of news, I just saw the news that Sam Raimi is taking over Doctor Strange: Mountains of Madness. Which, man, if you can think of if there's another, not a director out there that can turn that ship into a horror psycho thriller, Sam Raimi's the guy to do it, and I'm kind of excited about seeing how that will turn out. Mian Wang's got an exam in 2 hours. Just came here to say hi. Got to watch Little Women in the Sun. Yeah, I got to watch Little Women too. I just haven't gotten around to that one. Ilovocek says no. Spider-Man 5. I'm not quite sure what you're getting at there. AAA, what do you think will win Best VFX? Probably going to give it to Endgame because let's face it, it's Endgame. I mean, there's so much stuff that they've done on that movie. It's really. It deserves a VFX award. Come on. And if not, it's like a nod. Hey, all right, Marvel, you got yourself an award. All right. Also, any remakes you would like to see or anything you would want to be adapted to film? That question gets asked a lot. My go-to answer for that is RoboCop, because I feel RoboCop, in the day we live in with surveillance and robot technology, RoboCop, man, are you kidding me? You got to do a RoboCop reboot. That's what we got to do. Not the one that they came out with. I mean, give me something like meaty. Give me like a Blade Runner 2049 version of RoboCop. Maybe with some more humor in it, something like that. Anyhow. Let's see, from the Raimi trilogy, but it was scrapped. Oh, from Spider-Man? Not the Lion King. Lion King, well, I don't know. I mean, I think Endgame's probably just on a grander scale than Lion King. I mean, Lion King did quite an amazing job. Just, I don't care for that movie that much. I just wasn't crazy about it. Speaking of about the Lion King 2019, I posted this on my Facebook. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. I'm not big on people following. I mean, I don't care, sure. But a school in Emerson, California got a bill from Disney's licensing company for showing The Lion King for a PTA meeting or PTA fundraiser. So apparently they put on this dad's night, whatever fundraiser, raised $900, and they showed the movie Lion King 2019. And sure enough, Disney licensing heard about it. Here's a bill for $250. You need to pay us for showing that movie. So it's a reminder, if you do a fundraiser or something like that, or something, or whatever you're doing in public, you try to show a movie, do a public performance of a movie, and charge people for it, even if they're giving you donations, you gotta get the rights for it. And I am fully on the side of Disney. In fact, I think they're being nice with a $250 bill, because it's a $250,000 statutory damage if we go to court. So yeah, pay your $250 right there. And apparently, it only costs like $500 for a school to just get a blanket agreement to show any Disney movie they want for an entire year. So just do that. So I'm cool with that. Have I heard about the RoboCop documentary? No, I have not. That sounds like fun. I must have been watching Monty Python lately. Bloody awesome movies. Watched The Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Had no idea Mr. Roger was, but a great movie. You must be, if you're studying for a movie, or if you're studying for an exam in a couple hours, you must be in Europe. Mr. Rogers is a big impact on all of us Americans. We, my age and probably a little bit older, up to maybe a little bit younger, it kind of tapers off because they stopped playing Mr. Rogers because he was too old-fashioned. For the 90s, and 90s kids were into Power Rangers and stuff like that. What if there was a Terminator Blade Runner mashup? I think the Terminator has run its course. Honestly, I don't think anybody wants to see any more Terminator movies after the last one did. Man, it was pretty rough. What is your lighting setup, and which lens do you use? You look amazing. I love this lens that I'm using. It's actually a Canon Cinema lens. It's the Cine E lens with the electronic zoom rocker on it. It's a 18-80, and I just adore this lens because it's crisp and sharp and nothing of the. And I'm cheap. I'm a working stiff blue collar freaking videographer for people. I call myself a commercial filmmaker, and that's what I am. I make commercial films, but I can't afford cinema glass. Except for this. I mean, this one's I made a special, I'm going to buy this glass. I'm going to pay it off over 4 years. So I'm shooting with a Canon 1880 Cinema T4, which I find T4 is pretty good. It's for what I do. It's plenty beautiful, and it just crisp, sharp images. I love it. That's what I'm shooting with. And the lighting, we're using a bunch of these are Cobb Cobb LEDs up here. Some DJ lighting. I have a video on DJ lighting if you go in the list of lights. Mr. Rogers' last episode was in 2001. That's that year. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it was after 2001, after the terrorist attacks. He did come back for a little bit and did a little thing. But yeah, I think kids that are younger than people that are younger than me maybe don't have quite the appreciation of Mr. Rogers. I think. But then again, I think 2001 was 19 years ago, so that's what I'm talking about. I'd like to see a biopic on Steve Irwin. Oh, that'd be cool. Steve Irwin. Who would play Steve Irwin? Chat, go for it. We'll let that. Who do you think should? Don't say Will Ferrell. Please don't say Will Ferrell. How have you set up the mixer? So the audio wise, I just have audio going to the camera, and it's on auto. It's not over until Terminator versus Alien versus Predator is in the can. Versus Avatar. There we go. Terminator, Avatar, Alien, Predator, and just throw in Blade Runner. Get all those 5 together, mash it up, and then just for the heck of it, have Fast and Furious come in and just yo, man, this is family, and just beat the snot out of everybody. That's my movie right there. If I ever get $1 billion and I get control of all these assets, I'm going to make that movie. You're all going to be sorry. And I'm not going to show it to any of you people. I'm going to do that Cartman trick. I'm not going to show any of you that movie. Because it's going to be my own movie. Yeah. Anyhow. Meow Wang, I'm thinking of making a t-shirt that says, I'm a knight who says knee. Not for related to anything being discussed, but go for it. Just be careful. You can't sell that t-shirt, but you can wear it if you want it for yourself. I sure appreciate that Akai APC. So the Akai APC is actually how I run the video switcher. And it's I just have all the MIDI buttons controlling different assets and stuff like that. And usually I have 3 cameras, but because Joe's not here, I don't have his camera set up. I don't have the wide shot set up either because I have to put it back together again. I took it apart. Jack Black should play Steve Irwin. Maybe. I'm not sure I love that choice. Anyone else have a Steve Irwin pick? Cumberbatch? Cumberbatch? No, not Cumberbatch, I don't think. I have to think about it. I'm not very good at playing casting games, so I think maybe if you guys take take a shot at it. We can kind of play around with the concept. John Connor goes back in time. Sebastian Rodriguez. John Connor goes back in time to help Marty McFly win a car race and do a heist with the Fast family. Yes, now we're talking. And then they go visit Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a High Hollywood, and Sharon Tate's there and fighting along. Anyhow, GG, that's a good idea. We use a launch pad in our TriCaster. Yeah, a launch pad in our TriCaster. Yeah, you know, it's. One of these days I want to do a video on how to do multicam streaming, because I've been doing a lot of multicam lately. I use vMix, and we haven't talked about it in a long time, so I guess we can talk about it. But I use vMix as a control mixer, and Blackmagic to take the inputs. And really, vMix, anything that gives you inputs, you can code to certain activities. So I used to use an Xbox controller. I still do, actually, when I do my field mixing. I have an Xbox controller, and I just push a button to switch between cameras. So anything you can do with a mouse. You can do with this Kai board. You can do it with a foot pedal. So I had a foot pedal where I could just push my foot down, and it would change the next shot. So there's a lot that can be done nowadays. It's not as intimidating as it once was with TriCaster and all these really, even now, those really high end like hardware built solutions. Software solutions, although they're not as reliable, I find, and I'm always finding out, they're not as reliable, but they are much more cheaper, and they can, fast enough computer, you can definitely get them going. You can get them working right. Owen Wilson as Irwin, Steve Irwin. What's the thing that was? Yeah, what's that phrase? Owen Wilson's always known for. Now I'm blanking out already. Owen Wilson's not a bad choice. Although I'm not sure he's doing any acting anymore. It's hard to. I'm trying to remember what that catchphrase of Owen Wilson's. Yes, I don't know. Anyhow, yes, certain exposures. It's Fairytales and Bayhem. If you missed it out the review, we did it earlier. My mic was cutting in and out, but I don't want to bore all you people by going over it all over again. David Simmons, first stream I've been able to catch you in a good while. Good to see you guys. Well, it's just me. Sorry, Dave. Joe's out sick today, so it's just me. He'll be back hopefully next week, or next time we do this in a couple weeks. Wow, that's what it is. That's what it is. A Denzel Washington ad. The Denzel Washington ad for the Equalizer 2. Like, wow, I've never seen this card before. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is gonna wow. Well, this is, I'm glad anybody tuning in right now is going to be, wow, this is a really good stream. Wow. Ewan McGregor as Steve Irwin. Thank you, Matthew Ryan Morin, for that comment there. Ewan McGregor as Steve Irwin would be an excellent choice. I think you might have won the day. Yay. And for winning the day, you get the, you get the reminder to go to patreon.com/filmmakeriq and drop off some bucks there. We're going to be doing a pie fight if we get to $500. But yeah, Steve Irwin, definitely a good choice, I think. Steve Irwin. Ewan McGregor, the man that never freaking ages. The man is so damn handsome. It's ridiculous. Just cast Michael J. White. Why not? I like to do. Why not? Yeah, why not? Sure. Did you hear about Tank Girl being rebooted? I didn't watch Tank Girl as a kid. The movie always kind of freaked me out, so I don't really care. Sorry, Tank Girl. Maybe this time around I'll go and see it and I'll enjoy it. David Simmons, heard you talking about hardware versus software solutions. Several of the Linux streamers I follow rely heavily on analog mixing solutions because they just work. Yeah, but what I'm doing with software mixers is just basically running in Blackmagic capture cards and just mixing it that way. The only what's the word I'm looking for? Part of the instability of a Blackmagic is they are on a card and they're not. You make sure they're really solidly in there, and sometimes cables jostling about can kind of loosen things. I've looked into the Blackmagic Atom Studios. Those look interesting, but I just feel like I am restricted by those. Whereas software switchers, I feel like I can do whatever I want. I can add a video. I can play a trailer. I can do a lot of stuff I couldn't do with a hardware switcher. Anyhow, it's okay, dude. Adrian Tendrick, I think Steve Irwin's son should play Steve Irwin. How the Ice Cube's son played Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton. Maybe. I don't know. If he's interested in doing it, or if he has acting chops to do it. Or, it might be too much to handle. Let me get rid of that. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, perhaps. Momentary lapse in the conversation as I take a drink of my delicious LaCroix. And by the way, just get it out there, because I saw on Reddit somebody was saying, anytime you see a brand in a movie, that means that that brand is paying for it. Not always. In a major blockbuster movie, of course, they can, because they can sell all kinds of product placement. And if I had, not just me, I would be getting some money out of delicious LaCroix. But this brings me back. We did these live shows back in the day. And Joe and I, it's called Pawn Stars. We did Pawn Stars take on it, and we did a thing called Film Stars. It's on episode 4. If you look it up, it's back there. But we did a whole thing about Subway being a sponsor. I think everybody assumed that Subway was sponsoring us, but no, we were making fun of the fact that Pawn Stars was sponsored by Subway, and it was the most ridiculous product placement, obvious product placement out there. Anyhow, Alien Valenchik says sponsored. No, we're not sponsored by anybody. Not yet, at least. I will sell my soul, but not. This came in. I'll be honest. It came in today or yesterday, and it was a film school wanting to get prices for advertising and all that. And I'm not really doing a whole lot with that right now. I should be doing it. I should be more responsible. I should be working deals and all that. But I've got my regular business to take care of. I got my mother is just kind of she has trouble walking, so I have to take care of her a lot. And I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. But it was a film school. And the thing is, though, I was like, I gave him a price. I'm like, but I got to vet you guys, because I don't feel comfortable with a film school advertising on my channel if it's a scam. And I have a history with like film schools. I trust some of them. I don't trust a lot of them. So anyhow, that's that story. Do you plan on doing a tutorial on setting up a switcher? Yes, I will. That's one thing I've been trying. Back up here. I've been doing a lot of these. I do a lot of student of the month programs around here, and what the student of the month is, the high school will pick like a male and a female student to be the recipient of a student of the month. They get a nice little luncheon, and then parents come there and they talk about it, and we all celebrate. But I've been shooting them, and they're not hard to do, so I've been trying to work out a way to do a multicam shoot using robotic cameras that I control, and then being able to do it all basically as a one-man band. Joe does help me out on a couple of them, but I want to do a video on, thank you, certain exposure, $2 and I love that, $22.40. No, it's 24 seconds. You should have given 23.97. Anyhow, just kidding. Thank you a lot, Certain Express. So yeah, I do want to make a video on how do you set up a one-man band multicam shoot using robotic cameras. What equipment do you need? What software do you need? And then what techniques are there? Now, this shooting with robotic cameras, as I've learned or discovered over the last year or so, I've been working with it, is that if you have very specific kind of shoots that are involving a podium are perfect for robotic cam, because you don't have to follow somebody walking across the stage, right? So even concerts that are large orchestra concerts with not a lot of movement are really good. So I'm going to make that video. It's on the board. It's on my board of things to do. I've got anamorphic. I've got why LEDs suck for TVs, for movies. I've got what is cinematic. I want to do a video about that. I got what's that? When the inverse square law breaks. I want to do a video on Bayer color eventually. I want to kind of talk about how Bayer system works with color and demonstrate that it's actually really impressive how you can figure out the color based on a Bayer pattern. So batteries I want to talk about eventually. So there's so much stuff. I was watching a video from another channel that I follow called Counter Arguments today, and I heard that they stopped. He just got tired. He just wanted to quit, and he quit. so he abandoned the channel. And I'll be honest, like I've been having some like, I've been having, should I say? I've been more like annoyed with YouTube, but I love the content. Like if I could just stop everything and just work on the content and then my bills would be paid, I'd be like, that's what I would do. Because I love talking about this stuff. I love the history. I love the science. I love doing this stuff. But some of the YouTube stuff is annoying. And I'll be honest, some of the comments I get on some of these videos, I put a lot of work into it. It's like people are like trashing me for saying that microwaves were invented after the war. They were. But it's like, just shut up. So I know I gotta like stop. I gotta stop like reading some of these comments and stop and just ignore them and get rid of them and whatever. But it's just like, yeah, I put a lot of work in these things. The last video I did is out there, the war for color television. That was a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for, oh my gosh, like 6 years now. And I finally got out there in a form that I think is kind of what I wanted to present. It's, there's just so many details and so much information that it's hard to present that story as perfectly as I wanted to. I don't know if I came that close, but at least the story's out there and it's not like still stuck in my head where I'm like, hey guys, guess what? You should hear about this war for color television. It was amazing. No, at least there's something out there. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people are enjoying that video. So anyhow, how about virtual sets in Unreal Engine 4? I don't know much about virtual sets. I'm more interested in what they're doing with Mandalorian, how they're doing that. That's pretty insane. I get older, and the more I get older as a filmmaker, the more I appreciate shooting on a real set rather than shooting on a green screen. Like, and maybe because it's just a function of me being kind of in the solo filmmaker meld right now. To get from, I like to be able to make a film where you call cut and it's almost done. And all you got to do is put in some effects. All you got to do is put in some editing. You put in some music and cut it together, color grade and all that stuff. And like, then you have a movie. I like that. Whereas if you shoot on a green screen, it's like cut. Okay, now we've got a bit of something that can go inside a bigger, large machine that needs to be cranked out, and every choice has to be made and remade and redone and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to finally the point where we can add effects and cut and all that. So, anyhow, I'm getting a little stuffed up there. That's weird. Let's see. Let's go back here. Oh. Bro, just start making 40-minute long makeup tutorials with titles like Makeup plus Milking a Donkey. Emotional. That's what I do all day is milk donkeys. Please don't cut that out of context. Okay. David Simmons, I will say I'm impressed how civil comments are here. Been a lot of LTT live channels, bro. Yeah, Linus Tactics. Oh my god. If I feel like I'm getting like crushed by all these annoying because just before I got on air, somebody left a comment like, "Hey, they didn't make microwaves till 20 years after the war. Stupid." It's like, all right. But yeah, Linus must get like an insane amount of comments. The reason why we don't get a lot of terrible comments is because there's not that many people here. That's how we get away with it. This is what it is, man. We are small fries hanging out together, just chilling, having a LaCroix. Craig Kuster, I get you, man. I have to work for a diamond mine and pay my small debt. Music photography is my passion. Oh, that's fun, man. Music photography. Photography is just photography is great. We're friends with the lady that owns the Sizzlers that does the Student of the Month, so I kind of know her and all that stuff. She hired me to go out there and shoot. She does something called Nanny Diddy Bowl. I was texting Joe, like, you ever heard of a Nanny Diddy Bowl? They do it on the Super Bowl. Speaking, we didn't talk about Super Bowl commercials anyhow, because I didn't even watch them. But we did it. She did it on the Super Bowl, and basically her mother and her father like had birthdays right around the Super Bowl, so she would just invite everybody over, do games and all that stuff. And I did and then hired me to do some photography. And just gave me some scissor passes to go to her scissors. So that's what I'm going to be going probably this weekend. But yeah, no, photography, man. I love photography, and I've been doing a lot of film photography, like shooting on actual celluloid. And so I shot on celluloid, and then that Sunday I went back and shoot digital. And I tell you, man, my trigger finger is much more disciplined now that I shot film. Like I'm waiting for that. Then I'll get the moment. I don't shoot like bop, 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 bop. I shoot one shot for what I want, my idea, or what I'm seeing. I don't try to, like, unless it's something that's you just fire and hope, pray and spray. But yeah, anyhow, yeah. What are we getting back here? I'm just getting backing up here. Adrian says, are there any good books on golden age of Hollywood or the grindhouse era, any time in the evolution of filmmaking? Also pronounced 10 Ike 10. Okay, 10 Ike 10. 10 Ike 10. 10 Ike. 10 Ike. Sorry. Like the number Ike Turner. Okay, 10 Ike. Oh, very good. Thank you. I'm very bad with pronunciation of names, especially French names, as I'm told constantly on YouTube. Trevor Pinocchi says, you're getting old, reminiscing about the good old days with real sets. I know, that's what like this. I could be on a green screen. My former partner said, why don't you just green screen stuff? I'm like, no, I don't want to green screen stuff. I'm tired of green screening stuff. But anyhow. I read Sir Irwin McKellen had a real issues on the green screen in Lord of the Rings. So Ian McKellen he doesn't mind shooting in front of a green screen. What was happening was, because Ian McKellen was acting against hobbits, what they did was they had one camera set up for him and then another camera which is like a forced perspective thing for the hobbits. So he was looking at nobody and trying to act, and the hobbits were in another part of the stage acting their lines. And he just like it made him sad, and he might have also been having a bad day. It could be true. I mean, I don't think it was all terrible. Certain exposures, Uncut Gems flashbacks. I do love Uncut Gems. That was a good movie. Harzan, thanks for the great videos. I learned a lot from them. Even though I might not use them now, however, that's fine. It's all. They say it goes in the filmmaker IQ and it goes in the lockbox, and someday down the line you might be in a cocktail party and you might impress somebody and say, hey, did you know that blah blah blah, and then they'll be like, wow, that's really impressive. Filmmaker IQ, it's all about improving the brain, because that's where the films get made, man. They're made up here. They're not made on a camera. They're made in the brain first. Anyhow, oh yes, Uncut Gems. Popular opinion, didn't like it all that much. I found the first half especially a bit boring. I did too, but that ending, man, was so good. The first half, actually, I did fall asleep in the first half, and I thought, man, I'm going to write this movie off. I just don't like it. I don't like it, and then, bam, I got hooked. So good on it. Let's see. Oh snap! 5219 and 5203 or Portra. I've been shooting Portra 400 a lot for color, and I'm shooting HP 5 for black and white. And I just learned how to do black and white development, so I've been kind of toying with that. Right now, I think I put too much. My developer is too concentrated. I'm going to try going to a much weaker and then longer developing time, because I'm getting a lot of grain on my black and white. And I'm thinking, if I go down the other way, maybe I'll get less grain. So that's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, shooting a whole roll of film is like $10. Yeah, it's not too bad. The film is like $6 and the process is like $3. So yeah, $6 is pretty accurate. Why would YouTube try to block Craig Costa's comment right there? Shoot with a Canon A1 SLR cam with a 50mm 1.4 f1.4. I shoot with a Canon 5D original before the digital version, and I just use whatever Canon lenses I have, and then I also shoot with a Nikon F3, which I have a bunch of Nikon glass from back in the days when I used to do 35mm adapters. So I got all this Nikon glass I don't ever use, and now I get to use it. And now that camera, because it doesn't have autofocus, that's like, okay, now we're in the trenches here. But it does have a light meter on it, so that's fun. Anyhow. Don't use monobath. Ilford DDX at 1.4. Nice and clean. Good. Thank you. I will try that. I did buy some DDX. So, I didn't do at. Let's see. No, I didn't buy DDX. I bought some of this other stuff. I'll have to check it out. Anyhow, yeah. Don't use mono. I don't use mono. I do mono. It's a developer, then stop, then fixer, and so all the three things. But I think what I do is I use too high of concentration. I use a triax, and I use too much concentration on that. That's what I read. Anyhow, yeah, David Simmons. Anything? Yeah, anything interesting? Never thought about need for force perspective. Makes sense. Yeah, if you read about there's a popular mechanics article when the Hobbit movies came out that explains the shoot. See, the problem I'll tell you what, you guys probably don't know this, but Filmmaker IQ started as a website, and the website was a curator. I curated articles from all around the world about filmmaking, and I would curate videos, tips, and all that stuff. And we did this for many years before I decided to, the partner at the time and I decided to make videos. And the videos have become the success. The curating part has kind of died off. But, other sites like, No Film School and Petapixel, they all did the same thing, but they've industrialized it. They, for lack of a better word, take all the soul out of it, because it's like it's like a meat grinder, churning out blog posts after blog posts. I'm sick of that. I'm tired of that, and I kind of see through the need for media, for fresh content. Blog, put out more content. I'm over it, man. I'm so over it. So that's why I'm like the Filmmaker IQ site. I don't know what to do with it, honestly. I know I want to kind of revamp it and make it more about the videos that we produce, because I love the videos. I love doing the videos. I just don't know how to handle all the old stuff. So we'll figure it out. That's what 2020 is for. Figuring out stuff. Anyhow. Quality of the video, it's from the lens or camera or mix. I don't know. Probably from the camera and the lens. And I don't know. Let's see what else. David Simmons been shooting 35mm with a Rebel 2. I picked up for $25 on eBay. I love that. Nifty 50. And definitely been a lot of fun. Even brought into a delivery room. Oh, wow. And your daughter was born. Dang. That's some good stuff there. I don't mean that in a disgusting, dirty way. Sorry. I just mean, okay. So one of the things I love about photography is that I do a lot of client work. If I do client work for people, like I'll shoot, and I've shot, like I don't shoot weddings, but I have shot like dance recitals and children's events and stuff like that. And I think you people don't realize how special this little thing is. This dance recital of your daughter, 5-year-old daughter, doing the luau dance, as stupid and as silly as it is going to be worth something in the future. You're investing in a product that you can show on her wedding day and be like, hey, guess what I have? When you were 5 years old, you ripped off your shirt and ran around the auditorium. That to me is precious and beautiful and wonderful. It's like ability to transcend time. And people, man, don't freaking shoot it on your iPad. Pay the damn videographer $20 for a copy with some decent sound and some decent video on it. And what sucks is there's a lot of people out there that kind of like, there's amateurs out there just shooting really crappy video. I'm a professional. What can I say? I try to put out the best quality stuff I can. Try to get the good stuff, because those memories are worth it. And instead of watching your child's recital doing this the whole time, put the damn thing down and watch it and experience and be part of the moment. Because I'm not experiencing your kid's recital. It's not fun for me. I got my headphones on. I'm dialing in stuff. I'm making sure the exposure is right and all that stuff. So anyhow, that's my dang soapbox. Anyhow, Donnie Pearson. Let's see. I'm going to back up here because I missed a lot of comments here. Speaking of tips, Filmmaker Q is one hell of a channel to learn from. Thanks, John, for making amazing content. Thank you. Alex Knickerborger, who also makes great content. Cool. Sound department. Donnie Pearson. Hello, John. We're all from the greater Seattle area. Sorry for the delay. Awesome. Welcome. Actually, you're in the same time zone, I think, as we are. Let's see. 2 days since the Disney's 20th Century Studios official on-screen logo debuted, the recent TV spot for The Call of the Wild. I love it. My mock-ups are streaming on my YouTube. So I guess the 20th Century Fox logo first appeared on the movie Into the Wild in 1930, whatever it was, and it's apparently going to be removed on the new Call of the Wild. That's what I heard on the internet. If I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong. So what? Don't crucify me. But that's what I heard, that the Call of the Wild kind of the bookends of the Fox logo. So yeah, the look of the film is very aesthetic. So anyhow, AAA asks which switcher model we use. We use vMix as our switcher, running on an old computer I have, and this is an Ableton Akai APC40, which just basically operates as a keyboard for it. So John B5150 just watched Ford versus Ferrari on Blu-ray. Any idea how much CG they used to racing cars? Beautiful cinematography. I think they did a lot of CG, actually. There's a tremendous amount of CG on that movie. I'm not sure what is and what isn't. You can check it out. There's some behind-the-scenes footage. I mean, there's obviously a lot of real cars driving fast, but there is a lot of CG also, just probably to fill the background, take away wires, take away processors, and all that stuff. So Donnie Pearson, the original 20th Century Pictures logo, was first seen in the Bowery, and is first seen in the movie adaptation of Call of the Wild was last seen in the Call of the Wild with the late Clark Gable. Thank you for that comment. One of two, as he will remind us. How are we doing on time? Oh, let's see here. 7:02, coming up on almost time to wrap it up here, guys. Great sound design on Ford versus Ferrari. Donnie Pearson, you're welcome. First TCF logo was first seen in Metropolitan, yeah. The recent logo was last seen underwater. Oh, wow, that's interesting to hear. Okay, well, it is 7 o'clock. We do try to keep these about an hour. Let's see. Just run that. Shit, man. And David Simmons kind of spoiled everything because I was going to talk about our man, Kirk Douglas, who had just passed away at the age of 103. Yeah, Kirk Douglas, man, the guy has literally seen the greatest years of Hollywood, man. Hasn't he? I mean, so he's 103, so he was born in 1916. Yeah, he was a wee kid when the Roaring '20s happened, you know. And he was a star throughout the great years. His kid was a star. It's amazing. I mean, there's nothing much you can say. The guy is amazing. He's seen it all, and it is a passing of the era. It is. We have to remember, you know, what went before us. And when I saw that he died, you know, the important thing, he lived till 103. So he definitely had a nice long life, and I wish all the family, is whatever it means for a little YouTuber here, but he touched my life, right? He probably touched everyone's here's life that's watching. So I think a fitting farewell for him would be, as I think David Simmons mentioned it, 20,000 Leagues on the Sea. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with this movie, and this is, you know, of all the other movies he made, like, this is the movie that I most associate with Kirk Douglas. So close out tonight. Thank you guys for watching. You can check out Patreon, check out Filmmaker IQ, blah, blah, blah. If you want a t-shirt, there's a t-shirt there. Go through them quickly. But I don't want to get in the way of our celebration of Kirk Douglas, who did, you know, make it to 103. And I think I want to share with you, probably, as I close out, my favorite scene from a Kirk Douglas movie. There we go.
Got a whale of a tale to tell you, lads, a whale of a tale or two, about the flapping fish and the girls I've loved on nights like this with the moon above. A whale of a tale, and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo. There was Mermaid Minnie, met her down in Madagascar. She would kiss me anytime that I would ask her. Then one evening her flame of love blew out. Blow me down and pick me up, she swapped me for a trout. Got a whale of a tale to tell you, lads, a whale of a tale or two, about the flapping fish and the girls I've loved on nights like this with the moon above. A whale of a tale, and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo. There was Typhoon Tessie, Met her on the coast of Java. When we kissed, I bubbled up like molten lava. Then she gave me the scare of my young life. Blow me down and pick me up. She was the captain's wife. Got a whale of a tale to tell you, Lord. A whale of a tale or two about the flapping fish and the girls I've loved on nights like this with the moon above. A whale of a tale and it's all true. I swear by my tattoo.